8-8. Does that mean it's Lionsgate? And we're talking about divine purpose and answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
He said it looked like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. He's like something in your end table that you lives too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that
always
make
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine, somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come out here and talk bull and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, guys. It's 888. We'll get into that in a moment. And is it Lionsgate? And I did a video about this, I called it the Lionsgate bullshit. I'll kind of explain it tonight. I don't get too deep into it, but there is great significance with today being 8-8 and 2024 also being an 8, so 888. There's some significance with numerology that we can utilize to get into our divine purpose, because that is actually the topic. And so I'm sure you guys have been feeling like swimming. It feels like you're like walking underwater right now. The past week has been very, very heavy. So, but I like these times because it gives me time to reflect. It gives me time to actually look at the things more clearly. So I was like, when life slows you down, it's good to kind of be able to observe things. So I kind of like when things feel a little slower. I get to see things a little clearly. And being in actually Leo season, as I've been saying repetitively in Leo season, it's drawing attention to the unwanted things, the things that you're not looking at, but also things that you want to be looking at, things you should be looking at, and giving attention to your purpose. So let's utilize this energy, okay? We can utilize the energy with everything. You know, you can just look at a sunflower and say, I'm getting energy from this. So we have tools all around us to harness energy. That doesn't mean we have to wait for certain moments in time in order to manifest. And we'll get into that with the divine purpose energy. Anyways, let's see who's in the room and get my... let's get the things up here and get my other... Why is my other overlay not coming on? Oh, there it is. Who's chatting in the room? Jennifer Cruz, my maker. Hello. And my wonderful mod Nina is in the room. Shout out to her. And we have a message from her in a moment. Rhonda, hello. Jennifer Odette, hello. James Porterfield, my brother. What's going on, man? Lisa Cruz, AC, good to see you. Andrea Williams, good to see you. Sydney Aaron, hello. Chrissy Razi, good to see you. Cascading Catalyst, hello. Andrea Williams, hello. Eric, hi. Brenda Zuek, good to see you. Michelle Bell, my love, from Toronto-ish. Good to see you. Iggy, can't you see? What's going on, brother? What's going on, my Aquarius bro? Rocky, Rashida, good to see you, gorgeous. Tommy Garasi, 888, hate. No hate. Denise Land. Oh, I like that, Denise Land. What's going on in Denise Land? What kind of land is in Denise Land over there? Patty Snow, good to see you as well. Dana Veronica 23, good to see you. Benjamin Rumpel, Salty Mama Soul Tribe. I love that. What's up with the Salty Mamas in the house? Loving me, loving you. Good to see you. And Alejandra Delphin and it's Ashley Sandoval. Cascalo, hello. And all you guys who are watching, I can't see, I can only see who's chatting at the moment. So hello. Those of you who are new, I do start with the collective read, and then I get into the topic, which is the topic today is divine purpose, and we'll talk about the significance of 888. And $15 for card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, and $40 for a live video of a reading here. The Venmo and PayPal links are in the description below, and Nina will help guide you if you want to get a question done. I'd get them in now because I'll close them down, and we go in order. So if you want to be first, hurry on up. Okay, so let's get into the collective read here. And let's see what's going on here. And especially this week, I've been seeing a lot of misinformation going around this week in different realms. I mean, there's quite a lot of misinformation in the spiritual communities, which could be very cringy to me and nauseating to me because I have been studying spirituality for many decades. I say many decades like as if I'm 100 years old. But for a long time, I would say this, majority of my life. And we have these people who come in and they are faux spiritual and 2 years and all of a sudden they know everything and they just tout the same repetitive echo chamber nonsense. So we have to use our discernment, guys, to understand what is real, what is not. I even saw a meme that was false. There was a meme showing, it was the album cover Blink 182 from the 90s with the nurse and the glove. And there was an older woman who was doing the same pose, the same outfit. And they say, if you think you're old, look at this, saying that was the woman that was in the photo. And I'm like, that woman in the photo can't be that old. Now, I looked her up. She was really 55 years old, wasn't the same woman. And I'm like, no, that's not the woman who did the photograph. This is the woman. She's 55 and still pretty cute. And so even the memes have been have misinformation in them. So we need to use discernment, guys, about what's going on, what information. We can't take it verbatim and what's going on as well. Especially with the boxer that everyone's deemed it was trans, but she was actually born a female, not trans, not born a male, and they showed pictures of her as a child, and she clearly was a girl. As a gay person, I'm offended by stuff like that, because it's nobody's business to say what somebody is or isn't. Those who are pointing fingers, saying what is, what isn't, if the tables are turned, they be rioting in the streets too. So we should probably just keep our mouths shut about things we don't know, and we should stop telling people who they are and who we think they are. Okay, we need to kind of understand that's none of your business to tell which someone is or isn't. And so we need to kind of put ourselves in check. And I say this because there's a lot of tension going around. And do you want to be contributing to that tension? Do you want to be a contributor to that? And ask yourself what you're posting, what you're doing, what you're repeating, what you're, circling around on your Facebook and on your Twitter. And what are you circling around? And are you part of the problem of causing tension? And next time you press that send button, next time you press that enter button, click that post button, ask yourself, am I contributing to this divide? Am I contributing to this tension? And if you have to ask yourself the question, the answer is probably, yes, you are. Okay? Let people be who they want to be. You're not going to get your point across, and no one cares to hear your point anyways. And I always say, opinions are like assholes. We all have them, and most of them stink. Okay? Okay, and it's quite funny because I'm going on with that intro, and it's kind of the cards are pretty much saying the same thing. Ay. Yeah, why y'all's like going online sniffing each other's assholes online? Come on, why are you guys doing that? You're all doing like dogs. What are you about? What are you about? Ugh, I don't like it, and I'm going to post about how much you stink. Come on, guys. Okay, all right. It is going to be an emotionally tense, week ahead, okay? And the collective reads I always do them for the week ahead, okay? And yeah, so Iggy said some of them are bleached. We're very intelligent here tonight about bleached assholes. That is very true. Oy vey. Okay, so like I was saying, kind of what I was just starting off saying, it's kind of what the cards are saying too, that you all like think you're fighting for justice in a sense, but you're not. The car just flew across the room. Bear with me. Jesus. Talk about they don't believe it. You're all trying to fight for justice, but you're not being wise or using your discernment. The High Priestess card in reverse is like saying you're not using your intuition. You're not seeing things clearly. And this is collectively. We're not doing this. And, in order for things to pick up the pace and things to move smoothly, in order for things to work in our favor, we have to take a step back and understand, like I was saying before, are we part of the problem or are we part of the solution? And that means in every little thing that you are doing. There's so much tension online. There's so much tension even in the spiritual communities. People pointing out what they like and don't like. And I hear it all the time being on LOL and that show. People pointing out, I'm to this, I'm to that. And it's like, Who cares about what you think about somebody else? How productive is that to start focusing on what somebody else is doing or not doing? What are you doing or not doing? It's time to focus internally. Because I always say stupid people talk about other people and wise people talk about ideas. So you should be focusing on ideas and how to get ideas expressed, not so much what people are doing or not doing, what they're saying or not saying, how offended you are about what they're saying or not saying. Because what does that do? If someone offends you or doesn't offend you and you put them in their place, how does that change the world? How does it change your world? How does it change your environment? It does absolutely nothing. And because of this need for justice, this need to be right, this need to prove people wrong, all you're doing is anchoring yourself down more in that problem. You're anchoring yourself more down into the participation of what's creating the divides in our world. And so you have to ask yourself, again, how can I bridge these things in this world? If I'm seeing the chaos, if I'm seeing the tension between people, how can I bridge the gap here to be actually a part of a solution, to be a light bringer and a truth bearer to the world? What am I doing? How can I do it on the simplest level? Because, just people are just getting out their aggression for no reason, but they don't realize the aggression they're getting out, and they think the aggression they're putting up online causes massive amounts of chaos behind the scenes. You may think because you're making chaos behind it in a comment section to someone that you don't know the person perceiving those comments, how they're absorbing that, how you're actually messing up their day, and so forth, and the domino effect of that. It will come back to you. It will come back to you. And I don't know why Spirit wants to kind of talk about these things, because many of you guys are maybe pointing the finger too much. Or maybe you guys are in the other position where the finger is being pointed too much at you. If someone is pointing the finger too much at you and coming at you so hard, perhaps you need to understand it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Whatever they're thinking, whatever they're thinking or not thinking about you, doesn't change anything about your life. It doesn't dictate anything about your life. Now, when you respond to that or are affected by that, forget about it. Then it starts dictating you. They become the dictator of your happiness, not you. They become the dictator of your emotions, not you. It's just words. It's just words. And so I always say if you're in a position, usually when you're in a position of your true essence, you will have equal haters as you have equal lovers. Right? People love you, people hate you. You're kind of in the middle there, because a man for everyone is a man for no one. One of my good friends just recently told me that this week, and I'm like, that's true. If you're for everybody, you're for no one. And so sometimes to bring truth to certain people, you're going to rub them the wrong way. Sometimes when you speak the truth, it's going to start some fires. And that's why people say the truth hurts. Right? The truth hurts, and say, but and we should ask ourselves, why does the truth hurt? Shouldn't the truth set us free in that sense? We hear these cliche bumper stickers all the time. Truth hurts, the truth will set you free. Why are people hurt by the truth? And I say it's because they're so hell-bent on holding on to their beliefs, because their beliefs have defined them. And a lot of people hold on to beliefs because it defines who they are. And I say belief is just a thought process. There's no legitimacy to an actual belief. And you don't want beliefs defining you. You want to define your beliefs. You want to define, this is how I feel. And I would say the only belief you should possess in life is a belief that I believe I should be objective in every situation. Because no matter what you're confronted with, you can get to process that accurately and process that in real time and process situation without any type of distraction or distortion. You look at things for what they are. And then you get to kind of learn and process how to maneuver around it, how to grow from it, how to fix it, how to walk away from it. You don't have belief structures get in the way of your perception of what is. Because it's your beliefs a lot of time and the conflicting idea of beliefs that people hold on to that causes a lot of contradiction and confliction. So if you want to be free, you'd free yourself of beliefs. And, I always say too, when it comes to 5D acceleration and 5D ascension, I love the assessing card is laying there too before me. Ascension means that you're able to see things from a broader point of view. You're able to look at things from a broader perspective, which means that you understand how things are connecting. Because we all say in the spiritual communities, everything's connected, we're all connected, but no one knows what the hell that means. The same people are touting that everything's connected are bickering, fighting, and getting mad because someone doesn't believe the way they believe. Everything connected means everything is necessary for our evolution. And where things are at right now is where they need to be in order for us to evolve. And the things that we're not evolving in is going to have that much of a negative side effect in our evolution. So I've said many times before, where we're at in this world today is a result of what we're learning and a result of what we're not learning. And I would say the more complex that it's been getting, I would say with the tension and the chaotic energy is actually a good sign that we are evolving. because things have to be on full extreme, full blast for them to be exposed and for them to break down. So I think even now you see all this chaos in so many different avenues and realms in our world. That's actually a good thing, because it means things are starting to about to burst. And once things burst, we kind of let go of those things. They no longer become a problem. They no longer become a heavy emphasis or influence in our world or in our human psyche. So understand, once that cork pops up and everything just starts splurging out, then people get to release and relax and look back and say, oh my gosh, what were we doing? What were we thinking, and what were we following? What were we believing in? Oh my gosh. Because I've always used this as an analogy too when it comes to our food and the war on food, because a long time ago, fat was a problem. We were believing, high fat is bad, low fat. Everyone was believing that, just followed that narrative. And they replaced the healthy fats with crappy hydrogenated oils and sugar. And so then we realized, oh, it's not fats. Fats are good for you. Now it's carbs are the demon. And then it was sugar. But you see what I'm saying is we follow things because we're told them, not because we've explored them. Don't follow things because you're told how it's supposed to be. Follow things because you're exploring them and learning more about them. It took me 2 seconds, to look up and contradict these false memes, these false, articles and so forth, just to look up the truth. It took 2 seconds just to look up and confirm and to do extra research to see the truth of certain things. All because you see it doesn't mean it's real. All because you see it doesn't mean it's true. It's time to do that extra discerning thought processing in that sense. And so, your guides are saying, Spirit's saying to you right now, like this week, don't be reactive. Take a step back. Before you react to something, ask yourself, process this. What am I reacting to? What weight, what relevance does this have on my life right now? Because when you start processing things this way and you take a step back and become objective, this is the gateway to 5D Earth. Okay? That is the gateway to 5D Earth. All this 5D world shit we hear about, right? We think somehow there's some skies are going to open up and we're like all of a sudden we rise above to another planet. No. 5D Ascension means you see things from a broader perspective, and because you understand how things are and how they need to be, you're allowing yourself to expand your life to become more of who you are, without the opposition and without the anchors that you have of all this other crap that you don't like holding you back. Because when you focus on things you don't like, you attach yourself to it. I don't like this. And you start hugging it like a koala bear. You don't let go. I don't like it. I hate this. I don't like it. I'm going to keep fighting on it. Why attach yourself to these things if it's not what you want? We see even the political spectrum, right? Message from my mama. Oh, message for your mama. Okay. Even in the political spectrum, so many people, they hate Donald Trump or they hate, Kamala Harris, and they spend every day talking about the people they hate. Where's that getting you? You're actually in bed with the people that you hate by talking about it continuously. Whether it's humorous, whether it's hate, whatever it is. So you have to understand that you need to start grabbing onto things that you find true for you, that are beneficial for you. Because what happens when you do this and you develop that 5D perspective in life, you become, I would say, very inspirational to help others do the same. Because right now, a lot of you guys are doing, repeating these narratives, you're just blending in with everybody else. You're not making change. You're not being a matriarch. You're just blending right on in. Repeating the same things with identity politics, the same narratives. People speaking for communities they have no knowledge about. You have, white people speaking for black people, straight people speaking for us gay people. You don't have experience in our communities. Don't tell us how we feel. Don't speak for us. We don't need you. We're not disempowered. And so that creates more chaos, more division. When you think you're being empathetic by speaking for a group you're not a part of, you're creating more chaos. Keep your nose out of it. Unless you're actually involved in that specific group, doing some sort of charity work, so be it. But you're not. Focus on your own group. Focus on your own well-being. Okay? So this is how you transform. It's not about saying the same words over and over again. There's no portal that's opening up that makes you manifest. We have to get out of this Lionsgate portal nonsense. Every day is an opportunity for you to manifest. Every day is an opportunity for you to generate energy and power to change and shift your world. You don't have to wait once a year for this. Okay? And so, with the Lionsgate portal, by the way, this is why it's misleading, is because it was back in the Egyptian times when the sun, aligned in Leo and aligned with Sirius and the Orion constellation. It was all in alignment. And that's what Lionsgate is. But they didn't have August back then. They didn't have the same calendars that we have today. And so when you look at the alignment today, the sun is actually aligned in Cancer. And it's the Sirius and Sun is aligned in Cancer, and it's like, and I did a video about this. It's like an L shape with the Orion belt. It's not perfectly aligned. There's no portal, guys. So if you're interested in learning about that very simplistically, and there's deeper, astrologers can go deeper on this. It's also leap year. Look at my video. It's called Lionsgate Bullshit. I just posted it earlier. You can see on the alignment, it's not aligned today. And so, but in the essence of numerology, though, it's August 8th and 2024 is the 8th. That's pretty good in numerology, though. Okay? In numerology, the 8 is a divine number, infinite. I always struggle on saying this, the infinite, but also infinity, right? But it's a loop, too. You know, you don't want to stay stuck in a loop either, an infinite loop, but you want to understand, too, you know, what your divine purpose really is. Let's get into the topic. Okay? Divine purpose, for me, is expression of who you are. The misconceptions of divine purpose, and 888 in Leo season is a great time, especially with numerology, to focus on this and to use this alignment as power to make realizations of this. Because divine purpose, people think, oh, well, divine purpose is their career path, their job. Nope. People think my divine purpose is to get married. Nope. My divine purpose is to buy a home. My divine purpose is to get a car. My divine purpose is to have a child. Maybe. You see, divine purpose to me, and what I've established along the way, because I knew what I wanted to do, my divine purpose since I was a child, spirituality and music, I knew it since I was a kid. It was ingrained within me. But doing music and being a psychic medium is not my divine purpose. My divine purpose is bringing change and bringing truth to the world and speaking my truth. That's my divine purpose. My divine purpose is to dive deep within my soul evolution and find the power of spirit. That's my divine purpose. But through my divine purpose, I express through what? Being a psychic medium, being a mentor, and focusing and creating music. Those are expressions of my divine purpose. So many guys are looking for the physical expression versus understanding what the theme of your divine purpose is. And you understand what the theme of your divine purpose is understanding what are you trying to express in your life. It can be as simple as, I'm not going to use the overbearing mom energy like I always use. And my mom is not overbearing by any means. I just get a lot of that in my readings where a lot of my clients have overbearing mothers. I'm surprised to see you would think that many women would have issues with their fathers. Nope. I see a lot of women in my sessions a lot of my female clients having issues with their mom, actually. And overbearing moms or passive moms. So that's common. That's why I use that reference a lot. But let's say that, you know, you were in an environment where you couldn't use your voice and you were repressed in your voice. You were in some sort of religious trauma where you, again, repressed. Your divine purpose is to speak up for yourself and to utilize your voice. And when you understand, hey, you know what, I'm going to start using my voice. I'm not going to let people shut me down. You will then have creative ways of expressing that through a career or through a hobby. You might get into politics and use your voice even more because you've gotten to that passion of that expression. That expression will expand into a physical, action or work or something of that nature. So first you have to understand what am I trying to express in my life? What have I been repressed in my life? And what am I trying to express? Some of you guys may have not had enough love in life. And you don't know what it's like to receive love. So when you understand to receive love is also to give love too, to understand the expression of love. So if you're in a position where you never received love as a child and you want to be loved, well, you have to also give love to receive love. It's understanding the cycle of such. And when you practice that empathy and the allowance of love, you might find ways to be part of a charity, to work as a therapist. You'll start expressing it that way. All these expressions will become so obvious when you understand where your voice stands. And a lot of times people do art and their art doesn't really go anywhere. I, for one, never had the desire to be famous. Like, you know, I felt fame was going to be a result of whatever I do. I never said, I got to be famous. I need people to love me. I never had that in me. So living in Hollywood, everyone thought I was strange. I'm like, no, I just do I do music because I love it. And I don't need fame to validate my art. And if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. I'm just going to keep focusing on my evolution and with my work. And so when you focus on more what you're loving in that context, then the expression, of course, you'll find other ways to express that when you find what your voice is. So many people who have an artistic expression, they just think like somehow creating the art is just the voice. I'm like, no, creating the art is you're trying to say something through your art. You're trying to express something. What is it you're trying to express? Then the art will take a different format, especially those who are writers. What are you trying to express through your writing? When you understand what your voice is through your writing, then that will take off into a different level. When you understand, even as a therapist or a doctor, what is your mission? What are you trying to express through the work that you were doing? Is it to provide people healing? Is it to bring light and truth to health and nutrition, or how the body works? When you understand that expression, you have a different point of view of how you do your job. And a lot of you guys are in work and in job situations where it doesn't match your expression. And so you hate your job. It's boring to you. So ask yourself, does what I'm trying to express match with what I'm doing? And if you say no, it's time to reevaluate that. It's time to look deep inside that. And the expression really is what you've been lacking in life and what you're trying to put forth, or what you're interested in, the things you gravitate to, right? A lot of people who love, playing games or love to do gaming because they want to bring fun to people, right? Their voice is like, I want to bring fun to the planet. That's my expression. So they get into gaming. And they love creating games. And then they have fun with that too. So when you understand that, then you start, channeling and realizing your divine purpose. And divine purpose means it comes from the divine, which is source, but guess what's connected to source? Your soul. This thing is just processing your soul and the physical experience. This is not the receptor in a sense. It's the processor of the physical language, both literally and figuratively. But the information comes from the soul. And that's where we get the divine inspiration. That's where we get the divine information from the Akashic records and from just a flow of source and any type of guides that you might be connected with too. Right? My mom's a trainer. My mom loves health and fitness. My mom is obsessed with being healthy and food. And so she expresses that by helping others to be in the same light as her in that regard. She's in sync. Do you know how many nurses that I see that are unhealthy? Do you know how many nurses that I know? I would say about 80% of the nurses I know are on drugs. Literally, have drug addictions. A lot. They don't match. Their expression is not matching what they're doing. And they're not practicing what they preach. And that's unfortunate that I see a lot of this. And, I people that I know that are psychotherapists are kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Not practicing what they're preaching, because a lot of people go into careers and jobs that it's not their expression. And so what happens is they just end up doing something they don't really love and they don't put their passion into it. And they're just bad at what they do. And there's a lot of psychics and mediums. They just feel like, I have a little bit of intuition. I'm a psychic. They want to be something, but it's not their expression. It's like watching American Idol auditions. Oh, yeah. You want to talk about not aligning with the divine purpose. These people see a singer, like, I want to do that. I like what I receive from an entertainer. I want to do that. But it's not the divine purpose, so they think somehow they can sing. You watch these American Idol auditions, it's just so horrible. But they're confident. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to be the best in the world. It's like, not aligned with the divine purpose. They're trying to copycat or mimic. They're trying to mimic or get the attention for something they just enjoy. So it's important for you guys now to ask yourself, what are you really trying to express overall in life? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to express? And then when you really look at that, then the idea of how to express it physically, either through a career or some sort of hobby or charity, whatever the case is, it'll be obvious. It'll be easy for you to recognize that. It almost is synonymous with that understanding. And then you'll look at every opportunity in life, and this is for me, like everything that I speak against a lot of things in the spiritual communities, because a lot of it's just a bunch of bullshit. And, and I've always been on the, and this sounds cliche even saying this, but I've always been a truth seeker. Always trying to cross-check stuff. And a lot of what I've experienced in the spiritual, I've experienced a lot of stuff I've even talked against. When I talk against the manifestation communities, I used to be those people, high vibration, don't observe it, don't focus on it. No, it's going to create more of it. I was one of those people teaching that crap. So a lot of these things I'm speaking out, I realize my voice is the truth. So sometimes I have to go through things and experience things to know what the truth is. And I've accepted that in my life. And especially with religion, and I spent a decade in religion and all this stuff, and bring the truth about that with my experiences in that. Hardcore experiences. And when I dive into something, I dive in hardcore. So I want all you guys to understand, it really is a time to take a step back and say, what is really true here? And what is my expression? And am I just being triggered by people and trying to prove a point? Is that really what my expression is? Or am I just being triggered and reacting to people because I'm actually suppressing my voice or depriving myself of my true divine purpose really is? If you start just think, take a step to just think for a moment. And people have a very, very false perception of spirituality. You know who are the worst in the spiritual communities? And those who are new to spiritual communities, please understand, there's a lot of other people that are new to spirituality that are horrible at it. They think all of a sudden they know everything. They're coming out of like abusive relationship, or they're coming out of deprivation or hard period in their lives. They tap into spirituality and they come and start judging everybody and everything, calling the shots. They're not spiritual. So those of you who are new to spirituality, don't listen to those people. And there are times I have to constantly correct those people, because this is not what the spiritual platform is about. It's about being free. It's about being aware and accepting and understanding, not triggering, not triggered, not disrespectful. A lot of people are being disrespectful because they don't know, because they're pointing fingers at things they detest that's triggering them from their past. And so they're using spirituality as a gateway to pacify all that stuff. Please be aware of this. But when you're objective and have a broader perspective, you can see through this. You can see through the fact of, oh, they just don't know what to talk. They're new. Or they don't know. They're just repeating the same information. The biggest discerning in this, I would say, discernment, that reaction that you can find when you look at something objectively, cringe. Let thy cringe be thy guide. So yes, someone says here, where can I find you videos of pushing law of attraction? I didn't really make videos of law of attraction. There might be some earlier ones where I talk about manifestation. When I started doing videos, I kind of was getting out of that. So it was more like within my clients on the side. I do have some blogs on my website. I'm sure older blogs talking about this and creation. And so you can see my evolution through my own journey through my blogs on my website. I'm sure I've written many blogs about that. I have a book called Manifestation Master. It's on my website, so I even did a book on that. And I keep that up there for a reason, because I feel like if I can bring people in who are in those communities, and then they hear my voice now, then I'm actually helping. And look, not that manifestation isn't real, being that we're on the topic again. Manifestation is a result. It's really good to get your brain on board. It's really great to get your mind to accept the fact that you can see something possible for yourself. That's amazing. But you have to also understand what is relevant for yourself. We're not here to get what we want. And I know people are going to hate me for saying this. We're not here to get what we want. We're here to be who we want to become. We're here to turn into and evolve into who we want to become as a being, as a person. Then we get what we want. Some people trying to find out what they want, but they don't know who they are. So they don't know what they want, or they're not getting what they want because they don't know who they are first. And that's not going to grant you what you want just by kind of, I want a house, I want a family. I know I want this because society tells me. No, your soul might have a different agenda. Your soul might say, I want to travel the world. But then you saying, I want to have a family, I got to have a family now, and that's contradicting. It's not going to happen. You can manifest all you want. So the first thing to do is find out what your expression is, your divine purpose is, and then you get your brain on board with it. But I'm telling you, once you find out your soul purpose, your soul mission, you won't even have to write it down. You'll just know, aha. You'll have the realization. You won't have to remind yourself. Just like you don't have to remind yourself that you're a male or female. You know your gender, you know your name. I'm Scott. You don't have to do that. It's in you because you just know it to be true. Yes. That's exactly right. I'm glad. Please, thank you for quoting me, Cascade. That is, I'm going to copyright that. Let cringe be thy guide. When you see the oversaturation of things in the same verbiage, you know it's just people parroting stuff. Even with the Abraham Hicks movement, everyone was saying the same thing, the same terminology about everything. And it was just people parroting stuff. And so be careful that you guys don't fall into that pattern with that. But there's a lot of different elements, and I was talking to, we were having a medium, and I'm going to get up into the readings in just 1 second, and then I have a message from Nina. Nina, I've gotten your message. We'll do the message after this chat, this way I can take a break before readings. And so we're talking a meeting. I'm like, a lot of people talk about just prayer work. And I'm like, well, prayer, there's so many different elements of things and parameters that play into and play a role in things that sometimes it could deter a prayer or intention setting, whatnot. Because when someone asks me, what if I set intention for someone trying to manifest something? Like, why doesn't it happen? And I say it doesn't happen because you don't understand your karmic lesson or what you're trying to evolve from. And what you're trying to evolve from in a karmic lesson, if it doesn't match what you're wanting, it's not going to happen. Or your karmic lesson might be the block that's blocking you from getting what you want. And once you resolve the karmic lesson, you realize, oh, my preferences changed. So that inner work. So you can't manifest from your brain. You got to manifest from the soul. And I'll say that with you. You mentioned that topic. Should come from the soul. That means it's absent of physicality, actually. When you start manifesting, it should be absent of physicality. Meaning job, money, blah, blah, blah. You know? Because once you start first from the soul and understand what your expression is, that stuff will just fill in. You'll make the decisions mentally of how to get it and what to do and how to make choices, to get that happening for you. You know? But again, that's about having a broader point of view on just your essence of your experience and your existence as well as life overall. And I hate to say this to you guys with this politics. I'm just going to throw this out there. You're all being played with this two-party paradigm. The people that you're revering as leaders, they're all puppets for people behind the scenes. They select people to resonate with certain groups of people, and they've all been saying the same thing. All these politicians repeat the same thing for the past 25 years. I've been looking at old episodes, old TV shows, old talk shows. They were saying the same things then that they're saying today. Can you believe that? We're saying the same things. Nothing's changed. Same narratives. And I look back, I'm like, nothing has changed. All these decades of politicians, how's the education system? Worse. How is the mental health crisis? Worse. How's the homeless epidemic? Worse. How's the toxicity of foods? Worse. How's the air quality? Worse. How's the regulation of AI? Worse. What are they doing? Stop defending politicians and defend your fucking planet. Stop defending politicians and defend your fucking species. Because the moment you put these people on pedestals and you're being played with this paradigm, you're making it worse. You're all just digging your own graves. And everybody else is doing the same thing, left, right, left, right. There's got to be something in the center. There's got to be something in the middle. And if you can't see that there's like a actual neutrality and middle ground missing in all this, you're so far lost in the chaos. I did a topic about MK Ultra a couple weeks ago, talking about mind control. These psyops. Okay? What are we focusing on? All they ever talk about, that politicians exploit race, they exploit gender, they exploit sexuality, they exploit immigration, right? They exploit all these things that, are they really that important, really? Because we should not be proud of our identity. We should be proud of our accomplishments. If you whatever race you are, you didn't earn that. You just were born into that race. I'm proud of my race. I didn't work for being gay. I was born gay. And to be proud of being gay is like, what I've accomplished. Now, what my accomplishment about being gay is I fought against the church and became more of who I am. That's an accomplishment. Be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud of your expressions, not your identity. And that's how they get people with identity politics. That's a psyop mind control to get you guys focusing on what your presence and appearance is, not what's going on within and how you're expressing within. Break out of the haze. You're all back in this haze. I see spiritual people that I love, getting sucked into this crap with their memes and fighting against memes and all this crap. You're being played. And the whole purpose is eliminating the expression of you finding your actual divine purpose. Do you think your divine purpose is to fight against Trump? Do you divine purpose is to fight against Kamala because you think they're destroying the world? They're all destroying the world, and you're contributing to that. You should support a person that's looking for the betterment of our species. That's not talking about race, gender, sexuality. That's talking about actual issues, mental health, education, clean air, clean foods. Until I see a politician that supports those things, that's actually going to be a decline of our society, especially the regulation of AI, I'm not supporting anybody. Or you, I would support you for supporting these people. Because in my vision, you people are the ones that would support those people that you're supporting. You're actually contributing to the decline of our species. And it's hard for me to watch you guys do it. And it's hard for me to say nothing about it either. Because everyone's crying for change. Everybody's crying for change. Everyone's crying for a revolution. Everyone's crying for their rights, their rights, their rights. Who the fuck is giving you rights? You take your rights. You have your own rights divined by God, not a person. And you yourself as a people, we can make that change. I was talking with Chris Reck a couple weeks ago and just saying that what if everybody just decided to stop paying income tax? What would that do to the system? Do you really think income tax is ethical? We pay tax on so many other things. What if we all just stop paying that? What would happen? What if we all just stopped voting? Y'all don't like the options. What if we just all vote for just an independent party just because? What would happen? Do you guys ever think about that? Or, well, I got to pick this one. Why? Because mainstream media told you to? The illusion of choice. Here you have choices, this one or that one. Well, there's so many independent parties, libertarian parties that you overlook. That's why I made a video about this before, about the ignorance of choice. There's more than just two parties. There's more than just two people that you're being fed. It's time to snap out of it, guys, because you guys are arguing consistently. You're talking about love and lie, but then you're shutting off your family because of political bullshit. You're fighting with people online. You're fighting with people because they're spiritual beliefs. So you're not living your divine purpose when you're focused on this trivial, mind-controlling bullshit. And there's so much psyops in our spiritual communities too to mislead people to be in a fucking haze. No, I can't look. Nope, don't think negatively. Don't look at it. I can't. No, just positive. Not going to look at it. Not going to focus on it. Be smart. Be perceptive. What good does that do you? We don't live in utopia planet. It's not going to become a utopia planet at all. But if you choose to evolve from this planet, you will go to utopia. Big difference. Right now, we're in the shit. Deal with the shit. Stop running away from the shit. You're putting yourself in delusion, and you're robbing other people of inspiration. And so when you understand this and say, I'm going to deal with this crap. I'm going to say fuck all I want. Fuck. Now, am I not spiritual because I said fuck too many times? Or am I any less spiritual because I've reserved the name fuck? See, the problem is we've been so softened in our community that we can't say anything now. Don't say anything. Oops, nope. Can't say the truth. Don't want to offend anybody. What is that doing? So this is the divine purpose of our planet right now and of our species, is to evolve and to rise above these challenges. It's a lot easier than you think. I get a lot of shit and I don't care. The more shit I get, the more I know I'm doing what I need to be doing. Because when I get it's the extreme, like, oh my God, I'm so glad you said this. I'm glad you spoke up to, how dare you? I'm sorry, how many years have you spent in your evolution? 1 or 2 years, and you downloaded a fucking app and you think you're spiritual? Sorry to break it to you, you have a lot to learn. I tell people like that. But there's many of you guys who are doing so great too, and there's so many guys who are just starting your journey, and you're doing awesome. You get it. Like, a lot of you guys are starting to dive into your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities, and you're doing great. Don't let the faux spiritual bullshit hold you back. Don't let the faux hokey crap parroting shit hold you back. Feel like you're not doing what you should be doing. Because I'll tell you this, if you're not aligning with all that bullshit, you are doing what you should be doing. You're on the right path. If you're not lumping in with the mainstream bullshit, if you're not lumping in with the spiritual, what do I call it? Cliches, you're doing the right thing. Because guess what? What you need to understand in this physical world, when you stand apart from the physical world, you're on the right track. That's what spirit is. This world is not spiritual. This world is not focused on spirit. This world is focused on material things, power, greed, money, mundane, satisfaction. And when you stand out from all that, you live in the spirit, you will stand alone. And a lot of people who have their spiritual journeys and have their, start having their awakening phase, they become alone because they have to detach from all the garbage. That's living your divine purpose. But in time, and I want to say, don't worry if when you're new to your journey and people start, you have to break away from people, please understand you'll find the right people in time. But that means you just have to give yourself some space, give yourself some air to breathe, give yourself some time to reassess, to detach from the older beliefs, the older paradigms. Give yourself time to breathe and say, okay, let me just reflect on things now before I make this paradigm shift. And you'll find your way, you'll find your group. And so thankfully for online, we have lots of groups now that we can connect with. And you want to make sure you use the discernment. Speak up, guys, you got to speak up. It's time to speak up, guys. You can't stay silent anymore. If you know the truth and you're not speaking up, you're causing the decline of our planet too. It's time, guys. We're in such deprivation in our planet, and and our poor younger generations, what they have to be faced with. We want to make things better for our generation. We want to have them become more inspired. We don't want to be left with what the shitty generations left us. We want to make it easier for the younger generations so they can fulfill their journey too, and so they can evolve. So that's a divine purpose, guys. Your divine purpose isn't just selfish. Your divine purpose also is to help the collective. We're now in the age of Aquarius. You're going to have to start finding ways to adapt to that now. Because I've said this before last year. If you're in selfish mode, it's not going to happen for you this age of Aquarius. You have 40 years or so, I think. You better get on board about being more collective oriented and think what's best for all people. Not through politics, but through the eye of spirit. Because we're not in the age of Pisces any longer. The age of Pisces is about, I need a savior, I need a hero, I need a God, I need a politician. No, we're out of that age. So if you want to find your divine purpose, think in terms of helping the collective through an individual perspective. And you'll be on board. And you'll find your soul journey. Because if you weren't here to help the collective, you would not be in this paradigm. You would not be on this timeline. You wouldn't be on this timeline. We're on this timeline for a reason. And even though it's heavy, I know these times are going to expand into be wonderful times on our spiritual evolution. Don't be left behind. Well, let's get to the readings. And the first reading is with Nina. Good. I need to take a break anyways. This is for Nina. Nina has a wonderful message.
What is up, Thursday crew? It is me, Nina. I'm excited to share this oracle pull for y'all. As I was shuffling earlier, I kept getting this imagery of a volcano. You being as big and as wide and as grand as a volcano is. And with that comes at times that anger, that eruption. And it feels like the volcano has been suppressed and it wants to burst. And so be patient with yourself if you're feeling those feelings come up, and understand that can be normal and part of the process, because after the volcano erupts and has that form of release, after that the soil grows so lush, it grows so fertile, there's like new habitats growing and all sorts of shit that you didn't even think could grow from that. And so having that outburst, and I heard too from spirit, like sometimes in order to be that bitch, you gotta be that bitch. Sometimes you gotta be a little, if it does ruffle some feathers, and if it is still a way for you to release, respectfully or at times very straightforwardly, sometimes to be that bitch, you gotta be that bitch. And so the card that came through was the Kali Oracle, and she is the tantric queen of outcasts. So be that outcast and unveiling the hidden powers that thrive outside of conventional society. So, finding things that are outside of that. And if you have been denied love and respect, she brings healing, she brings empowerment, and she clears the way for creative and a joyful, vibrant path. So go ahead, and to be that bitch, you gotta be that bitch and allow that expression to come through fully.
I love it. I love it. And that's true. I love Nina's getting spicy too. I love that Nina's definitely my tribe. It's true. You got to be, sometimes you're going to be the bad guy to stand up for things. Guess what? You're making change. And like I said before, if the truth hurts people, that doesn't mean you have to reserve it because you think people are going to be hurt by the truth. People ask me all the time what this means, my symbol means. It means light bringer. It means truth bearer. That's what this is, actually a sigil of Lucifer, actually. And people are very misinformed about the Luciferian movement. And a lot of you guys in the spiritual communities are actually Luciferians and don't even realize it. You think you've been taught that Lucifer is demonic and Satan. That's not the same thing, guys. The Luciferian movement is understanding the power within to evolve, wanting to know the truth, the striving for truth and evolution. Also respecting people and their boundaries, but not allowing things to trample on the truth. That's what this means, okay? And so there's a lot of misconceptions within the spiritual movement, even with the dark and the light. It's just so overly fantasized. And, my journey has been, I always said to myself, what I'm doing, this love and light stuff, isn't helping me. It's not helping anybody else. And people are still stuck. So I started diving into the darker forbidden worlds and realized that's where the truth is too. You can't have truth without both sides. And so the Luciferian movement is all about the truth evolving. It's really about the personal striving to be more like the God energy and realize you really are the God energy. And so I will put myself on the line. I will confront all my demons, figuratively speaking, because they're not demons. But I will look at the ugliest of myself to heal it. That's Luciferianism. Okay? And helping others to do the same without judging them. That's Luciferianism. So that's what this means. I had one fool in a comment section on LOL said, my satanic necklace, and I don't like his vibe. Is that spiritual? It's misinformed, but to be so judgmental and hateful, is that what spirituality is? So, and you know that Lucifer is considered the North Star, the morning star. And guess what they call Jesus? The morning star. Okay? So, once more, we need to educate ourselves about the expansion of our world and expansion of our consciousness. And that we're not supposed to be one-track mind. We're supposed to be very broad in perspective. And the more 5D you become, you realize the things that you were told are evil are not so evil, actually. How they paint it. So, and again, a lot of times, we got to be spreading that truth and putting yourself on the line for the truth. You're going to be the bad guy. Oh, well, and usually I'm saying to myself, whoever I'm being the bad guy to, I could really care less. Insignificant. Because at the end of the day, those who resist the truth, what are they doing? Okay, first question is from Stephanie Panaharara. I'm staying and keeping down real estate in Miami, right? Wait, I'm staying and keeping doing real estate in Miami, right? I just feel I have so much more to do here, and I feel it's staying and obviously keeping my condo because more is way less than a Miami rent. I mean, you could still do both. I don't know why you have to do either one or the other. I think that you can be, staying where you're at and maybe traveling when you need to travel, and so it really depends on you. I can't make the decision. Like these are things that you have to make a decision on for yourself. I'm not the creator of your reality in this sense about moving in little steps like this. So please understand, guys, every step of your life is not written in the stars. Well, she's going to go to the grocery store on on August 15th, and she's going to buy chicken. That's not in the stars. Oh, she's going to make a little slight move and rent this apartment out here. That's not in the stars, especially when it's really just more preferential. So in this question, I really can't answer that question for you. I would say where you feel the resonance with your work being more at a peak, go. And if right now you feel limited to where you have to travel and do back and forth, then maybe perhaps do that. But allow yourself to expand. Allow your work to expand so you can have more flexibility. And so not everything has to change so quickly. And I think a lot of times what I see with these questions weekly too, that somehow there's a massive change in the next week. And so be okay that there's not massive change week to week. Be okay that sometimes things are in a process, and be okay with the fact that sometimes things take a little more time to evolve. And that's quite all right, and sometimes just staying put for a little bit. Because I'm just feeling, just stay put, do what you're doing for a little bit, right? So you give things time to change, right? And that's okay to do that. Again, in spirituality, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. Spirituality doesn't mean you necessarily have to always be changing something. Being spiritual also means that you're okay just being where you're at currently too. That's a main aspect of being spiritually grounded in a sense as well. And so saying I don't need to make a change right now. Everything's this manifestation. I can manifest something now, next. That's that loop. It's well, sometimes you just have to just fucking chill for a minute, just be where you're at, be patient in the process. Yes. It's funny. Right when I said be patient in the process, Rhonda's like, be okay being in the process. Talk about in sync. I said process and that came up at the same time. I love the synchronicity. Yeah, be okay with being in just the moment of that and allowing things to evolve. Give things a chance to breathe. And people always asking, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? I don't want to answer questions if things are always that way. I'm not pacifying anxiety. That's not what I'm here for, And speaking of, that wasn't for you, Stephanie. I was just getting into it. A little bit of a soapbox become that question. But back to you. Be okay with being in the process. And be okay with saying where you're at for a moment. They're saying just stay put, let things expand a little bit, and then you'll have a better decision whether to move back or not. And allow yourself to kind of work in that regard. Even if you have to maybe downsize, just be preferential what's best for now as you're allowing your connections to grow and expand. All right. I got on a soapbox. Wasn't really for you, but okay. Chelsea, I'm not going to answer. And you did 2 questions. Yes. But what was the second question? Wait, Stephanie, did you do 2 questions? I think I missed it. Let me see. Yeah, no, that was 2 questions. Staying in Miami, yeah, okay. Gotcha. I think, and let me tie that up as saying you're doing good. You're doing well, it's good to see you cascading. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night, my love. I appreciate that. You rock. Sleep tight. Okay, well, Chelsea, I'm not going to... I'm not going to answer this first question because we've beat this to death. I don't want to pacify your anxiety. I'm going to answer the next question. Maybe I'll put 2 questions in that one to pacify. But I don't like keep asking a question about something, how something's gonna turn out all the time. It feels too much for me. I don't like working that way. So I'm not going to answer the first question because of that fact, and you understand what I'm saying with that. I don't like to be put in that position, to be honestly, as a reader, and I don't like to pacify anxiety in that sense. But we'll look at the second question. Okay. I have a friend staying with me. Is she a true friend or using me? Well, let's see on that. Well, I wouldn't say she's using you, but I feel like she's taking advantage of the situation. And I wouldn't say she's not a friend, but I just kind of feels like you're in need and you're kind of there to help her in a sense, and she doesn't feel like she's overly appreciative. I think she's kind of like, yeah, I need your help, and I'm here, so thank you, and I just think she's taking advantage of the situation because you're helping in a sense. But, I think you just want to make sure you're just not giving too much to her and setting a boundary with her, because I feel like she'll get too comfortable. I think that's what I'm feeling. Allie! I didn't even see you come in, Allie. Look how cute you look in that picture. Good to see you, my love. I didn't even see you in the room. I'm sorry I missed you, but good to see you. But yeah, Chelsea, I think that they're saying you just can't be extended because she probably wouldn't make any moves to like move forward. She wouldn't make any moves to get her back on her feet or do for herself if she didn't have to. So I would give her a time frame, a deadline. So I'm gonna say she's using you because she does care about you as a friend, but she's very kind of like not so expressive or intimate that way. So, but I feel like just give her time frame. I think she is taking advantage of the situation because she needs it. But give her a time frame and a deadline. But I just want to say about your exam, my love, let it be. I have to say, just let it happen the way it happens, my love. I do the analogy of squeezing the bird, squeezing the bird energy, and I told you my read on it before and how it read at that time. Just let it sink with you. I don't want to enable behavior I'm trying to help people get out of. If you understand me on that one, Chelsea. And these questions are kind of are enabling me to keep enabling a behavior I don't want you to be in. So at the end of the day, just let things unfold the way they have to unfold. Let the process be what it needs to be. This is not a long-term grade or board. The fact is that the prediction I always gave to you, you're going to do it, period. Take the exam aside. If you fail it or not or whatever, you'll find your way doing what you want to be doing, how you want to be doing it. So don't put yourself in that box. I understand the anxiety. I get all that. But sometimes you just have to take a step back from it, Chelsea. Sometimes just to say, look, it is what it is. I tried my best, and I'll find my way. Sometimes just take a breather on it. Like we were saying before, just take a little bit of a breather on that. I don't like to be asked the same questions all the time. Like, yes, to catch up is great, but just in general, like sometimes I want you guys to be at peace. And I don't think that me putting a pacifier in you guys' mouth is giving you peace at all. And I know this, and so I can't do it. And that's where I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm really coming from your greatest good right now. And then if I have to pacify people, that's going against my beliefs. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want to say beliefs, but what I stand for and how I am, what I believe to be true in a sense. So I believe in you. I've always believed in you. I've always been in your corner. And you've been doing things that you never thought you'd be doing before. Remind yourself of that. You never thought you'd be at this stage right now, and you are. You never thought that you'd be able to emotionally get past the situations we got you past before. You never thought you'd be able to do that. You were stuck in the other situation because I've been your cheerleader too in this, and you have. So just take a breather on this. Don't pressure yourself right now. The last thing you need right now is more pressure. Okay? So it's not the simple question. I know why you keep asking the question, but let it unfold. Let the surprise be the surprise for you. Okay? But with the friend, again, I would set a boundary with her because I feel like she's not going to be, determined on finding her own way, finding and yeah, I found a job, I'm going, I can leave now. It's like, you're going to have to push her out, so Andre Jordan card pool. Okay. I would say this, Chelsea. I know you laugh at that about this. It's like a kid saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" It's like that. If you could understand from my positioning, it's like that energy. Not that you're a child, or anything. It's just when someone, it's that questioning, repetitive question of someone wanting an answer. You know. Well, I'll ask you this. Why didn't you take my initial read on this, Chelsea? I guess that'll be my question. Why, when I give you an initial read on it the first time, why didn't you? Why wasn't that enough? Why do I have to reread it again on you on this? I mean, I'm assuming you're asking about the same results, right? Or you're asking about a new? Let me maybe make sure I'm actually not misinterpreting this. I don't want to spend too much time and for other people. I say I sat for my big board exam and said 7-6. Results come back next week. Yes. Can you double check that I did pass that? Is it? Wait, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is this another exam? Or it's not the initial one, right? Yeah, but is this a different exam? Maybe I'm misconcerning. This one, I get a. I don't know if this is. You had to take a second exam. Is this true? I'm trying, Chelsea, but honestly, this is not what my work is for. But I look, I know you're gonna find your way. I'll say this. The 7-6, I don't know, is a different exam. Yeah, so I figured. Let me just see on this. You understand the position I'm put in, because then if I feel like you didn't pass it, then I have to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want that. I don't sign up to be that in a sense with this. And so I haven't read it yet, but I'm saying it puts me in a position like, oh my gosh, she failed, and I have to tell her she failed, and and be the bearer of the bad news when I don't want that position. I don't want that responsibility in that sense, but let me see. Okay, the same exam then. Okay, because I didn't get a different vibe. So it's the same exam. It's the same exam. So you keep me posted on that. Okay. Okay, let me move on. This is for Andre Jordan. I have to be quick with these two, guys. I've spent too much time, and people wait too long. It's supposed to be zippy, fast, and so I have to be more mindful of being quicker. So this is for Andre Jordan. Card pull. What time is it? 7:07. Okay, all right. Okay. There might be a move soon, or in the works, or a new home aspect. It feels like to me. Also travel. I can't determine if also travel is maybe you take an overseas trip or something of this nature, or some connection overseas, or the move is overseas. I just feel a connection here. But I definitely feel like either a move within the next year or a new home. So it might be preparations for such. I definitely find that in alignment as well. And I want to see what this King of Pentacles means here up in reversed. What exactly that means in this position here. Okay. Be careful about investments, they're saying. So if there's some sort of investment that you're dealing with, or maybe or investment that you get involved in, to make sure that you have the proper legal counsel in a sense, because I feel like it would work out in your favor if you did, but you might get into a legal issue to where you don't have the right legal counsel. So if there's some sort of investment or some sort of legality in the future, just make sure that you have the right counsel. It might not be the first person, or you might have to get someone else to deal with it, and then everything will be fine in that once you change it and find the right counsel in that sense. But I feel like a new move or a new home in a sense, or doing something new with the home, that all feels new, and maybe even some more travel in conjunction to it as well. The home move thing feels like it's looking more in 2025 or some sort of that nature, and the traveling feels like it's all that came within the year's time too for me. So I feel like there's going to be some change in that regard, and focusing more on the home life. and maybe even doing more focus on her home life now and changing things or making things fresh or purging things, excuse me, and getting that kind of squared away. Because it feels positive to me too, because Nine of Cups is kind of getting what you want and having like the flexibility of what you want and having the resource and accessibility to what you want. So I feel a lot of that connected in the result of this too. So that's kind of a simple read on that as well. So if you're not anticipating, you might realize that there's going to be, you probably will get into a move somehow. If you're not anticipating it now, you'll probably within the next year, you'll realize that. Well, good, because I thought it was random. So, yeah, and there's something with overseas connection too, Andre. I don't know what this overseas connection is too. So it might be a travel or something, an overseas connection. It was just kind of blending in, but I didn't feel like it's a move. Or maybe you do go overseas for a period of time. I don't know, but there's some sort of overseas connection with the traveler, or if it is, in regards to move, maybe. But you'll understand that more so. That'll make more sense. Kathleen Prantas. Needing clarity about a trip in the next few days to Rohatán, Honduras. Feels as though this trip is connected to my Dharma. To clarity on Bob Ficken, Divine Soul Connection. Okay, about the trip. Well, I mean, the trip feels... Let me see. I mean, a trip is a trip. I mean, I don't really feel anything extreme with that, but I guess I look at the experience, right, of this. I just keep smelling things. You might connect with something with the I don't know, something connected with the plants, or I don't know why I keep seeing this. I'm trying to dissect what this means. You're gonna something about like tapping into a root. Either your roots or the root of something, or like you maybe explore a certain root. I don't know, because it's showing you like really like smelling a plant, and so you might. It's just maybe just the agriculture there, maybe not so much the agriculture, but the flora there and the plants that are there that you might be connecting with in a different sense, and maybe find some healing through plants. It feels more of a spiritual connection. They're saying like reminders of past spiritual connections. So this does feel like a spiritual trip for me, and something like finding the root again. They keep saying, so maybe you do something where you actually do find the root of a cause of a problem through a healing experience, or you find the root of yourself, or whatnot. So that's interesting to me. So I think there'll be some sort of breakthrough in that sense. But I also feel like there might be a connection to a past life that you might either resonate with or realize, or something that connects with you from a past life experience. Some realization like this on this trip. That's the experience I get. Other than that, it's just like a trip, right? Of what's intended, nothing out of the ordinary. But that's something I would look into. Clarity on Bob Ficken, Divine Soul Connection. Bob Ficken? What's the question with that? Are you asking if it is a divine soul connection, or are you asking me to explain it? What is the question on this? I don't know if it's quite clear. Clarity. Well, I guess you said clarity on Bob Ficken. I guess that's question enough. That's clear enough. I can just tap into his energy. That's fine. I just get like very neutral energy. I don't know why I'm not reading much from this. Is this someone from afar? Is Bob Ficken from afar, or is I don't know. I'm feeling a distance with him for some reason in relation to you. I don't know if it's geographical, or if there is a little bit of a gap with you guys, or distance, or because they almost show you like you're looking up at him and he's kind of like not fully encompassed with you. So maybe he hasn't fully connected yet the way you're wanting it to connect, and so therefore he's kind of being more reserved. Maybe he's being more reserved than he should be. I do get the Lover's card on it though too. So maybe there's some sort of reservation with this connection. Lover's card doesn't just mean to be romantic. Lover's card could also be just like a loving relationship too. That happens a lot too. And so I really think that, Yeah, I think that this is maybe there's more to this connection, and he might be more reserved right now, and so it needs to be opened up more. I think that you're more opening to him than he is at the moment, but I also feel a stillness with him, you know. So in time, possibly he might open up to that, but I feel like that stillness or that type of, you know, not complete opening up kind of sustains for a while. So I would just say just to enjoy it for what it is and allow it to warm up or allow the expansion to happen naturally. Is what I would say. Because it's difficult to read him because there's like a reservation somehow. I don't know what that is. You know. Or it might be something he's not recognizing. I'll say that. There's something he's not recognizing with you. Or something he's not realizing or something like that. It's just something that's in the way of that. Is what I feel. What did Iggy say here? Iggy, can't you see? What's some of the comments on LOS show? Okay. That's funny that Crazy Fakona says this. I'm the Aquarius version of David Palmer. That's kind of funny. I like David Palmer. You know, it's actually a fun fact. David Palmer was actually going to be originally on LOL with us. So he actually would have been on working with us. So we tried working. We all were working together in the beginning, but then he had a kid problem, you know, issues with kid, and he had so much going on, so he couldn't. And then, of course, Spirit's like, we need 4, not 5. So fun fact, we were kind of, you know, he's a Leo, I'm Aquarius, so we're completely opposite, but we are very similar too. But different in other ways. I'll say this. Different in other ways. David Palmer, I admire him for being a Leo. You know, that's very fiery. I tend to be more like a dad, like a big brother in a sense. So, but it would have been interesting to see how he would, if he would have stood on, how that would have been. Actually, at least I would have felt better that I'm not the only one offending people or getting people upset because I'm blunt. I don't know. People have issues with bluntness. Have to do some inner work about their past, especially when the bluntness coming from love. Sydney Aaron, hi. What's the energy of us bringing a mini dachshund into our family? Any sense of timing? Love you. Yeah, why not? Timing? Yes, yesterday. They're like, yeah, timing should be anytime, Sydney. Whenever you want to. I told you about a dog. I told you before you're going to get a dog. I told you about that. So yeah. I see. So I thought I told you last time about getting a dog. So we'll see. That's a yes, and the timing is as soon as possible. Motherly energy. Really? This is for Alejandra Delphin. My job is offering a new position. Should I take it? Okay, let me be clear about the questions here, guys. Okay? I cannot tell you what to do or not do, but what I'll do is I'll give a read on it so you can make the decision. How about that? So, don't ever ask me particularly, should I do this? Should I make this decision? Don't ask me that. I will not give you a decision to make. It's your life to make the decision. I will tell you if I see you making the decision, that's different, or I'll say if the position is great for you. Okay? So just want to clarify, don't ever ask anybody to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. And my clients of a long time know me on this one. Cancer North Node, Scott? I don't know what that means, but I'm Aquarius, Virgo rising, and Gemini moon. And I'll have to probably throw my chart out there to you. But I'm a 13 degree ascended master Aquarius, I think. That's what Christopher Techie told me. I like the position for you, Alejandra, and so I think that the position itself seems like there'll be more responsibility, but I do think that I really do think that, you know, it would be a good position for you. You will be stressed. I will say this. You will be stressed, but in a good way. I feel like you'll be, you know, you might get a slow start if you took the position, but I think you'll find your way with it. And I feel like, again, it doesn't feel that much different from what you know that you can do. But the more responsibility aspect could work in your favor and give you better aspect on your resume. So I feel like you would like the position. It's up to you if you want to take it or not. but they're saying use your intuition, because I think your intuition is pulling you toward doing that. I think you might be intuitively fearing the responsibility or whatnot of this position, but they're saying it would be a good thing for you. It'd be a good thing for you. Yes, it's 22. Yes, it's 1982, Amanda. I think it'd be great for you. It doesn't read extremely bad. Doesn't read extremely positive. Feels like it's just right. You know, the environment itself, the position itself, I feel like the people working around there seem fair. They don't feel drama to me, even though there's always drama in office politics. But I feel like this would be great for you. But just be letting yourself to understand. It might take you some time to adjust to it, though. But I think at the same time, you'll be fine with that. So I like the positioning. So I feel like your intuition is going toward it. So I'd say follow your intuition. Okay? For shizzle, follow your intuition. So, but I personally like this, you know. And Two of Wands, you know, is always, to me, is like two good decisions, right? So if you decide not to, you're good. If you decide to do it, it's good too. So when a situation like this comes up, I feel like both options are equal. If you don't take it, if you do take it, you'll be good either way. I think it's great about the decision. So follow that intuition, because I know your intuition is saying, I should do it. I just don't know. I should do it. So follow your intuition. All right. Yeah, I mean, 1982. Do you, Amanda? So it's 2282, right? And I was born 7:36 p.m. Okay, Staten Island, New York. Look at that. And I'll have to block that out. Did you get that, Amanda? Make sure you got that so you can look it up. And a new position is exciting, actually. You know, and sometimes the positions are shitty. I'm like, don't take it. Like, it's bad. Like, if it's a warning like that. But I don't get that here. I just get like, it feels really good for you. It feels like a good change. It'd be a little stressful in the beginning, but you know, I think it's good, Alejandra. Yes, in Staten Island, New York. Okay, that's the city I was born. Hey, Scott, finance-related question. I'm an investor on the side, as you know, yes, but my boss, Bill, is a great mentor and an idea guy. Would it be okay investing with him or stick to my strategy to yield my expectations and goals? It's a dilemma I've had for the past year. Yeah. I don't think... look, I always advise mentors at all times, right? But I feel like that you need someone new. If you can invest in a mentor, I feel like there's something about Bill is a little outdated. I don't know what it is, right? I feel like you need someone fresher for some reason for a newer. If you can invest in a newer mentor, in a sense, someone who's a little fresher, someone who's kind of in the thought movement, you know, in a sense. Like, there's a lot of people who are investors, but they're kind of part of the higher thought movement. I think you need someone more progressive in your life with the fresher energy. Bill doesn't feel fresh to me. I don't know why. I don't know if he's older, but if he just doesn't feel as fresh, maybe you need someone a little more fresher for you. Someone who's also very mentally, has a lot of good mental agility too, not just strategic. Even though he might be an idea guy, I don't know if you need someone who's good with the mind, I would say, you know? Yeah, you need someone more fresher than that, Jai, you know? I think that, you know, not that he's bad, but I feel like you'll just feel like you're not getting new information, you know, or new guidance in a sense. So, I have one in PayPal from Naikua. I hope I'm not butchering that name. Please forgive me if I am. Especially when I'm trying to be fast, and sometimes the font is this big, but we have a card pull for Naikua. Is that correct? I hope I'm not butchering that. Simple card pull for this. I would just say for Nai, N-A-I, Nai K. Oh my God, that's funny. Outdated Bill. Did I say that? He feels outdated, like an outdated Bill. That's funny, Nina. All right. This is for Nye, and thank you for waiting, Mrs. Nye. Yeah, this is an emotional read. Nye, you're in a position right now. You gotta stop. You're carrying too much burden right now. You're carrying too much on your back. They're saying you need to ask for support and ask for help with people around you. Like when you need help, you need to ask for it, because I think you're carrying too much. You're doing too much on your own. You're doing things alone too much. You're not allowing others to come in to assist, or you're not asking to assist. And I think that's kind of maybe. Now, if there's some financial hardships in the process of this too, but it's okay to say I can't do everything on my own. It's okay to allow people to come in and step in and help. They're saying you're kind of in a modality like this right now, Nye. Okay? So it's emotional, like I said before, that you need to understand that you sometimes you just can't do everything on your own, and that you're going to have to really kind of understand how to ask for help and allow people to step in to help you too. Because there are people that are willing to, and that would love to help or be and participate. And I think that once you understand this aspect and you release some of the burdens and also things that you're responsible that's not yours, and you kind of release that, then you see things clear about what you're doing. So, like I felt like there were financial issues, but then I felt like they were resolving too. Like there might be a financial issue where you're kind of dealing with something that felt resolved. So I think asking for help and asking for guidance from people around you that you care about and people who want to help, and accepting that can help you maybe get through that type of time of stress at the moment. And so when you do, I see things like kind of clearing up for you and things kind of like working well in that sense. And whatever financial issue becomes like someone who steps in to either help you, or there's a way that the financial issue or financial toughness, resolves. Okay. This is for Carmel H. Carmel? Carmel? What else is in my chart, Amanda, that you see? Bill Guy, the hedge fund guy. Bill Guy, the science guy. Bill Guy, the hedge fund guy. So what else? Share, Amanda, my chart. What interesting things do you see in my chart in Staten Island, New York? Okay. Again, poll for Carmel. Why are these all reversed? All right, Carmel, they're saying stop being reliant upon your relationship. This is the opposite. Either current relationship or just in general. You might be giving your power away too much to relationships, and you might be relying too much on your relationships to where it could be actually hurting you financially, or also taking away your power to create. The Magician card is it's a very important card. I just want to show it upright first, but it came in the reverse. It means that you do have manifesting power, and I'm saying this very loosely, but you have a way to really affect change around you with other people. But for some reason, when you get into relationships, you kind of shut down that power. And then I feel because of that, then you start having financial issues. So you have to reevaluate your participation in your relationships, that you don't diminish your, I would say, power to create and to change the space around you, because the Magician card is someone who has abilities too, and you might be unconscious to your psychic abilities or intuitive abilities that it might be backfiring at this moment. But I feel like looking at the right relationships where a relationship actually brings it out of you. Right? And relationships actually when you start seeing your finances go poorly, it's because you're in the wrong relationship, or you're sacrificing yourself for too much in a relationship. And then when you don't, then your finances increase. So I feel like your financial leverage and how you're handling money dictates of where you're at in your actual relationship. So for some reason those two are connecting. So understand you have the power to create what you want. You've evolved somehow in your spirit that you're able to manifest things that you're wanting rather quickly when you make the realization really quickly. And so that's because of your evolution. And we all have different ways of manifesting. So I think that's important for you to understand and take a step back on, because this way you'll bring in the relationships that are balanced for you. And not so much winning a relationship, then all of a sudden you sacrifice your power, and then you just, and then things kind of go to shit, because then you're reliant upon more of the relationship. Or you lose yourself in the relationship, per se. Scott, you have a tremendous amount of planets points in the bottom of part of your chart, implying introversion and internal energy, Cancer-like, and this connects to your North Node in Cancer. Okay, cool. And then they say Moon, ninth house in Gemini, international audience and need to intellectually understand higher concepts at 2 degrees. It is the Cancer I feel overlay on your Moon, nurturing and kind as well as intellectual. I'm not going to argue with that. Actually, I can't argue with that. That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's true because very emotional. That's probably why I understand my Cancerian friends. My last long-term relationship was a Cancer. That makes sense. Like Cancers, you would probably drive normally on normal terms, drive an Aquarius nuts. But I understand them too much to look at it as like, okay, I got to console the child in a sense. But yeah, I understand Cancers very well, and how to handle them. And then they say my Jupiter is in Scorpio. I knew that my Jupiter. I knew it was Scorpio. In third house is your passion for going deep as fuck. And yep, that makes perfect sense. Deep as fuck. And for some reason, I see you putting on a glove when you said that for some reason, Iggy. This next card pull is for Marzel Norton. Wow, a lot of swords. Wands. Wow, this is interesting. So Marzel, let's just talk about how strong and to the point you are. They're saying, right now is the time to be very mentally agile. I feel like you are mentally agile, and I feel like that you are very determined in what to get, that you're going to fight for what you want in a sense. And, you might have different dynamics of such that you are very, hell-bent and very determined on getting things. And so I feel like you're going to be presented with 2 opportunities for, maybe work environment, I feel like, and coming out of your shell because of this. So either you need to be determined or you are determined, and that's kind of where I feel these 2 opportunities for work or opportunities in that sense kind of manifest. You have to make a decision. And then, of course, that kind of brings you out of your shell, almost like you get recognition, you get kind of attention, this Leo season, for what you really can do through this next opportunity. So I think that's great. And so stay true to your guns, stay determined, because that opportunity is coming soon. All right, Amanda, very complex, too much to do justice here. Just curious to see connections. What, I'm very complex? Is that what you're saying? Or my chart's complex? Which part's complex? All right, and I think last but not least here, and I think, no, that was it. We are done. We're closing down these readings, baby. Baby. And it's actually 7:30. It's a nice time to end it, actually. Just making sure I did get everybody, and I did. It's a quiet evening. Interesting. Great. Well, then you might get the one that requires a move, actually, Marzel. So, and I feel like also the 2 options are both good for you too. So whatever you decide, I think it's great too. But you've been very determined. I feel like that's very, determined energy and very acute what you're wanting. So that's really good and kind of like really standing up for what you want and it just seems very mentally agile in a sense of like you're also very competent in a sense too. So I think that's great. So you might not have to, but like I said, both options seem good to me. Right? So I think that whatever 2 options come to you, I feel like they both will be good for you, but I'm kind of leaning more toward the move. I think you might like it, actually. Sometimes we don't know, but I think, I wouldn't not consider, I'll say it this way, I wouldn't not consider the move, opportunity move, and be open about that. Because, Spirit might be calling to make a change. All right? Well, I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. As always, you all are fucking amazing. I love every one of you guys. All you guys have just amazing energy, and I appreciate every one of you guys, especially you guys who are here regularly. You're my fam. I say you're part of the Cruisyverse, right? I always say this is the Cruisyverse, but I always try to think about what do I call the people a part of the Cruisyverse, but I don't want to be like a stupid Gaga with her monsters, but this is the Cruisyverse. So thank you for being consistent in the Cruisyverse, and this is the new world every Thursday. And catch me on LOL too. Monday, we're talking about, God, what are we talking about? Oh, shit. Ascension. Yeah, we're talking about Ascension on Monday. So that'll be an interesting topic, and we'll get to express our ideas on Monday about our viewpoints. I definitely have similar viewpoints to a lot of people, but a lot of my viewpoints are very different. I have been diving into spirituality since I was a kid, exploring religion, all these different things. It's been nonstop for me daily. I would say the majority of my 30s, I was just home every day studying with my head in books and videos and meditations. And so I still even have that hunger now for that knowledge. So you get my point of view. Because a lot of times people say, who's this random fucking psychic guy? What does he know? Well, I have to remind people, this is where I come from. So you understand where my knowledge is coming from. From my guys' experience and constantly diving my nose and playing around and getting my hands dirty in things, But, and I think, intense viewpoints, I think that, intensity is passion. And just think about when you guys have good sex, it's intense. Does that mean intensity is bad? Like, oh, that was great. It was so intense, So intensity could be very refreshing, could be very relieving, So, and I get that all the times too. Oh, you're very intense or you're very passionate, but I'm also very chill. When this camera goes off, I'm like, I'm watching comedy. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm fucking around with Rocco. No, I know you meant that as a good thing, AC. I know you did, but many people are put back by it. But I know you know me, AC. So I read you well on that. But most people are the intense is a negative way in their factor. But I know you understand it. You've always been very clear about that. I love you for that. But yeah, and I think that where's I going with that? Something about intensity. Anyways, yeah, cruisers, right? The cruisyverse, the cruisers. I don't know. You're all individuals. I don't want to create a cult, but I just like for you guys to feel like you do have a sense of community here. I love seeing you guys, help each other and support each other in the chat. That makes me feel great, and support even Chelsea. We all giving Chelsea some great energy. Hope you're still here, Chelsea. Hope you didn't tune off, but I hope you understand that we are all rooting for you too. That we have a great energy here for you, Chelsea, and what you're doing and your tests and stuff. There's certain parameters and readings are different, but we're all just here for you. Just take our energy, and hope you're here, Chelsea. Hope you didn't just rush off, but you'll probably feel that. Maybe you'll be called to watch this and you'll hear this. I hope so. Thank you, Nina, too, for being a great, awesome mod too. And check out Nina's page. And Nina, put your if you can, Nina, put your page also in the chat so people can follow you too. She's starting up her intuitive reading journey too, and so she's good because I've been mentoring her too. So you're getting a little extension from me too. So get her, get validations between both of us. So check her out. She's wonderful. She comes from the heart too. I want to see her nailing it. When I see Nina nailing it, I'm like, yeah. When I see Nina on fire, I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So, but Nina has an Instagram page. So put that Instagram page in there, Nina, if you can. And support her too, because she's wonderful. She's got a lot of talents. I can't wait to see her. She's blossoming, and I get so excited to see her blossom even more. So, and check me out again. I love on Monday. If you guys want to book a personal session with me here, it's scottcruiserpm.com. The link is in the description. And again, check out my video, Lionsgate Bullshit. You'll understand what I'm saying about today's alignment, how it's not accurate, as I was ranting in the beginning. Okay. And then if not, I'll catch you next Thursday. And if you have any topics, guys, send me, put in the comments, not in the chat, but put in the, because I don't get to see the chat afterwards. I can, but put in the comment section, ideas that you might have for topics. Put topic idea and just put an idea. I would love to see what you guys want to hear me talk about, rant about, or things you might be curious about my perspective on. Put it in the comments. Put topic idea, and put that in the actual comments, not in the chat, because I would love to see your guys' ideas of what you want to hear and so forth. So. But if not, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'm going to give a short outro tonight because maybe should I do a long outro, short outro? What do you guys think? What do you think? Long outro, short outro? You want to sit and chat, or maybe you guys tired? I'll just do the short outro. Either way, see you guys next week and Monday. And you guys are all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love. Good night, guys.
He said it was like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You said like something in your end table that you this too.
My God, you're crazy, girl.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that make
always
sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine, somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come on here and talk bullshit and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony.